Gene, what was your goal before joining Interview Help? What were you trying to achieve?
Well, I was just trying to get better at programming in general and understand the data structures and algorithms a little bit more because I started seeing why they're so useful because I was coming across problems that I couldn't figure out because I started originally with web dev. And web dev's a little different because it's sort of like it's syntax and knowing sort of the structure, versus algorithms, data structures. You have to know it and know how to apply it. And it's definitely a little bit more challenging. So I originally came in to get better at just leak code type problems and competitive programming. The job is gonna come sooner or later, no matter
Mhm.
what you do if you get good. So I do want a job, but realistically, I do got to get better, and there's more practice. So
Mm, nice,
yeah.
nice. And then, what were the challenges and frustrations you were facing in your interview preparation? What challenges and uh, what were your main challenges as you were trying to prepare?
My main challenge, there was just a lot of things I would say I didn't really fully grasp, and I didn't realize that there's a lot of topics and subjects and a lot of practicing in math. So that threw me off because it's one of those things you can't just jump into and expect to know.
Mm,
So that was just a challenge for me because usually some things you could just memorize and then reapply, but this isn't really about memorizing. So I
mm,
think that's another thing where I kind of felt like I really started enjoying this because this felt sort of more free, whereas everything else is sort of more static, where it's like supposed to be one way. But my
mm,
biggest challenge was I didn't really know how to apply a lot of the things. Oh, and on time while someone else is there watching me, you
mm,
know.
mm,
So that was very tricky because you're timed and you're panicking a little bit. Still something I struggle with, but not as much. But the
mm.
timing is a major one.
I see, I see. Had you tried anything else before this? Before interview help, did you try anything else before this? And what was this?
Uh, well, are you talking about for the data structure and algorithms? Because
Yeah.
I was doing projects and web dev and all that. I still do that, it's the sense, but the data structure and algorithms and like the more math stuff, that's a little bit different.
Mm,
So, um, going back to your question, I guess there was just two different things. So I did practice with like a lot of projects and Code Academy. I did a boot camp,
mm,
so that it was pretty good. They did pretty good teaching and all that. However, there was a lot of things that I need to know before I could just move on. So
mm.
that just threw me off by, when it came to like a lot of the data structures and algorithms. So
I see. Okay, what made you choose interview help over other options? Did you explore other options, or was this the only one that you came and you said, okay, this sounds good?
well, I got contacted and then I was just like, okay, I mean, I might as well try it out. And turns out it was probably the best decision I ever made, honestly. Seriously, if I didn't do that, I would have still been, I probably would have given up. I was actually this close to giving up. So that's kind of why I think I'm so happy because not only did I start enjoying it more, it's more
Mm,
of the fact that it's not only that I started learning and actually understanding, it's the fact that I was enjoying it after this close to giving up. So like I was very close to giving up before. Seriously, I would have been able. It's amazing me because it wasn't even that long, and it's like, and this is between me working out, sport, so it's like I still have a lot going on, but I'm still able to, thankfully for Raul, seriously, I'm still able to learn this while doing my extracurriculars.
nice,
I was
nice.
this close to giving up. I really was.
I'm glad we were able to help. What was your experience during the session? How did it go? Can you give me a little bit more on that?
For the tutoring,
Yeah, as a student, what was your experience in the
it
session?
was actually really good. Like I said, I think this was easily one of the best decisions I've ever made, and I'm actually going around telling other people like, "Hey, this is actually really good," because like some people have different schedules, and this is good if like you're not in the facility. So it's like, I'm an introvert too, so it's like I'm inside a lot, so this is really good for me.
Mm,
And I like the fact that it's 1 hour undivided attention.
mm,
So it's really good. And then also, like I said, Raul's a really good teacher. He knows literally everything. So it's like I really enjoy the fact that I could think myself and then ask a question if needed. And he also knows how to, if there's an error, he's not gonna just tell you there's an error, and he's gonna kind of make sure you kind of see where the error is going, so try to guide you. I think
mm,
that's a very effective teaching strategy because
mm.
just giving someone the answer, it's not gonna do anything. Like, and that's another thing too, where I really like working with Rashad because
Mm.
it's more of old fashioned where you kind of have to rely on yourself and not just
Mm.
answers.
Nice.
I've seen a lot of people, they're just AI did like they just Google and cheat so it's like or memorize, and that's something I've always been against because I didn't think that would it could work short term, but after a while you're not gonna progress. So I
Yeah.
really feel like this way of teaching is helping me progress.
Nice. Nice. Was there any aha moment or a shift in mindset that stood out to you?
Actually, yeah. There was this one problem. I'm still kind of shocked at how I found the answer. I don't even know. I don't even know. I was just thinking of different ways to do something. I think it was called the largest rectangle.
Mm.
It was a 2D matrix where you pretty much have to find the largest rectangle or square. So it's
Mm.
kind of like a histogram, but it was a 2D matrix. However, the solution I came up with, I don't even know. It's still baffling me because it was just so much that was going on in that one problem that I don't even know how. Another aha moment too is these formulas. Like, there's so much. That's why I'm actually really enjoying because like one line of code, if you know what you're doing, could save you literally like hours or dozens of lines of code. So it's like learning just one-liners that could just save you so much computing is it.
Mm.
That I think that's a major aha because being able to quickly do one thing and then you could go on to another.
Mhm.
I just think that helps, especially in one little line that would take you forever. So learning recursion, DP, all that, and some of the
Mm.
formulas to tackle these problems, I'm really enjoying it.
Nice.
So it's making me just want to get better. I just really
That's cool. That's cool. Uh, what specific improvements did you notice?
um there's many. I know for a fact with recursion, because I didn't know anything about recursion. Recursion
Mhm.
was very tricky. So like now I could kind of read a recursion of function and understand what's going on. For example, merge sort. I didn't know how that was working. Now I could just do it, like now I understand. So
Mm.
recursion, DP, 2D matrices. At
Mhm.
first, that was scary, and now I think that's sort of more of my strong point, you know.
That is amazing, man. Rishabh really did work very well for you.
Seriously, I'm in gratitude forever. Seriously, so and so I really am, honestly. So.
How has your career or confidence changed since completing the program or working in the program? How did it impact that?
I'm super confident going into things now. I'm not gonna, well, not super confident. That's still bad. You don't want to be too confident.
Mm.
However, definitely want to be more confident. However, you should also know, like, expect, you could be wrong, errors could happen, and error handling it could also teach you some more. But I'm
Mm.
definitely more confident. However, I still think there's a lot more I have to like relearn and get good at because there's this, and then there's the web. Like, there's a lot of other things, the languages. So like in terms of like being job ready, I still think I have some more to do, practice to do. However,
Mhm.
I am much more confident, like to the point where I'm actually looking forward to studying now because I know it's actually going somewhere. Because when you're defeated, you don't know if it's gonna go anywhere.
Nice, nice. And then, would you recommend interview help to somebody, and why would you? Why would
Oh
you?
yes, yes, yes. I'm already telling people now. I mean, granted, I kind of had to like take some time off and kind of go on my own and just really like focus. However, I do talk to people and I do recommend them. Like,
Nice.
you should. I mean, I don't have too much friends in computer science just yet
Mm.
because I didn't really come in from computer science. So I
nice.
don't know too much people there. However, the people I do know, that's like I know some people in the field, so I do recommend it to them.
Nice.
So I honestly do. If I knew more people in the field, yeah, I seriously would, because some people. The thing is, I think this is great for people that because in the classroom, I think like there's some people that already come in. Well, at least for the boot, like some people already know, but like this is really good for some people that need like just extra time. Because I've seen a lot of people, they give up if they fail, you
Mm.
know? So it's
Mm.
like if you really love something, that's all right. It happens. You could get better,
Mhm.
It'll just take, so it's like I heavily recommend this to anybody that's like, struggling, scratching their head, because it's like you could fail and then actually even become better than what you thought, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes it can motivate you. Seriously, it can motivate you. So it's like you could fail and then realize, oh man, like you really need to try, and then you use that passion to try harder and then actually understand it. And you could understand some things that you probably wouldn't have gone to, So you could have probably taken a different path and then, ended up somewhere, and then you're on this path now, and this path is actually even looking better. So
Nice.
you get what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah. And what else? Anything else that you would like to add just by yourself? What would would like to add to our interview?
I'm just really glad that somebody reached out to me and told me this, because if that never happened, I don't even know. I'm just glad that I'm more confident in
Mm.
my coding abilities. Like I actually feel more versatile.
Mm.
Like if somebody asks me something, I'm not gonna just freeze up. And if they ask me to code it, because I didn't even know how to code, I didn't even know how loops work. So it's one of those things where like having someone that's credited, I
Mm.
know you know everything, so it's really good. So it's like, like a lot of times when you're coding, instead, because like you could all ask online, but it's not the same, because someone could give you the wrong answers, not explain it too well.
Mm.
So I think the tutoring's just helped in the fact that it's more reliable, you
Nice.
know.
Nice.
And and also it's helped me realized I'm getting better at programming and talking,
Mm.
So that's and also, oh yeah, another thing too that I would have never done beforehand, which I really respect Rashad for, is he kind of showed me how to draw, and like how you draw these things, like how you plan it. That actually makes a huge difference in how you
Mm. Mm.
draw a lot of these algorithms. Because without drawing it, beforehand, I didn't really draw too much, but now that I'm drawing these out, I'm actually able to come into solutions, figure out other problems. So
Wow.
that's something else I've noticed, the
Wow.
drawing. I would have
That's
never.
really cool. Yeah. Thank you very much, Gene. Thank you for taking all the time to talking to me, and best of luck.